we wanted them to have, and gave ourselves enough breadcrumbs to get to this point where we didn't need a book no more.
You, if you ever seen that movie Bulletproof Monk, it'll tell you that we have the codes up in us.
The codes is in you, immortal codes. You got
Yep.
all the records. So you don't need a book. You understand? That's why I'm like, people get it confused. Just because a person can find information in a book ain't got shit to do with spirituality, because spirituality is beyond
Man,
a book. That's what
man,
spirituality is, the gnosis, nigga, when you goddamn wake up and shit just hitting you. Like whoop, whoop,
yes,
whoop, 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 whoop.
yes, yes, yes,
That's real spirituality. It's not reading anything from a text. That's why I be
man,
talking to people like, what I'm talking about, you can't find in no book. How is that,
man. That's
motherfucker?
what.
Because
Yeah,
I'm on the other
yeah,
level.
yes, yes, for real. Whole
And
upper
that's where you
echelon.
gotta get to, tribe. That's where I'm trying to take you to. Take that self-doubt out of your head that, oh, I ain't awakening up. Oh, this. No, yes, you are. Yes, you are. But the minute you doubt yourself, you throw yourself away from what you reject what you are.
For real. That's where you
And
lose it.
that's when you done lost. The minute that self-doubt come in your head, like, maybe I'm not, maybe I'm wrong. Oh, I gotta look. No, that's not spirituality. That's not gnosis. We talking about the real gnosis. That's
When you,
going
yes,
within yourself and
when you
trusting
tap
yourself to
in.
have the right answer. And when
Yup,
you trust yourself to have the right answer, it is the right answer.
yup,
That's the whole point. And you ain't gonna need nobody to tell you shit about death or nothing, motherfucker, because you gonna remember them past lives. And you gonna know it wasn't a such thing as death. And you gonna start getting all of these codes and stuff you ain't even gonna maybe know what it mean at first. But that's the gnosis, yo. You'll figure it out.
yup.
That's how gnosis work. It's not gonna be somebody that's just, now certain things, you understand, does align for you. You understand, now that does happen. When you in the gnosis, you understand, you
Yup,
come across people with a certain frequency and you'll gravitate there because of the gnosis. But
yup,
over and
yup.
understand, you didn't need that person to get to the gnosis. You is
Man,
the gnosis. That's just confirming what you already know to be true.
man,
This is what I'm talking about. You confirming what you already know to be true. That's where you got to get at. Not, oh, this person said that and it's got to be true. No. Oh, this was wrote in a book and it's got to be true. No. You the book.
man.
Ah, shade. I think that's
That's
all I
right.
wanted to say about that. But that's real spirituality. That's the real gnosis. Yourself. You might not know how to plant like that or whatever. You could read something in a book, but that's just a manual. That ain't gonna really teach you how to plant till you really put your hands in that soil and drop that seed down in there. And then you gonna have to do some other shit that's not in that book. And that's
Man,
growth and learning. And that's the same way a seed of that's the same way knowledge works in you. You plant the seed in yourself. I want to know this. And then you go and you meditate and you get in the sun and you do the work and the answer gonna come. That's gnosis. And it be a lot of times, that I done been in this journey now, and I be tapping my records of Akaj, and I be talking about stuff, and somebody be like, "Oh, I heard the same thing. Bobby Hemmett said that before," or Layla Africa, or you understand, or I heard, I read about that. I ain't read shit. I'm tapping my records of
man,
Akaj. Ain't shit out here about the serpentine matriarchs or the dragons or nothing like that. But I know I am one. I know about the serpentine matriarchs. I know about the royal Muian empire. How is that? Because I'm tapping into the Gnosis.
Man, see
That's all I'm doing.
that's the
That's
real
all
internet.
you got
Yeah,
it all in you. Everything that was ever wrote, plus beyond that, plus
yup,
the
infinite.
extraterrestrial knowledge of the astral plane is right in you right now. You don't need you ain't got to pay a dime. All you got to do is take that money and leave it in your fucking pocket and get out here and put that time into yourself and know what you're doing to be true. And then you ain't gonna need nobody else.
I want to tell you guys this right now. It is dragonfly season, so
And that's all,
dragonfly
be encouraged. But don't let these people be putting your soul in motion, getting you all hyped up with all of this shit because they got a couple of catchwords or whatever. You understand, boy, they put a couple
Yup.
catchwords in there. But when it comes to the gnosis, them motherfuckers ain't got no gnosis, motherfucker, because they ain't spiritual.
Yeah, you had Flo on blast because he was talking about was through a damn book. I'm like, bro, and he
Bro,
was trying to talk to you, and you really been in the motherfucking lab. I'm like, bro, you just let it go, bro.
Yeah.
you
And he
can't.
wanted to
That's
make,
the whole like,
can you
and
guys
that's
hear
what
me?
I be trying to get through to people. Like a motherfucker reading a book can't tell you shit about spirituality, can't tell you nothing about nothing because they ain't never done it.
thank you.
It's
But that
just
was
like
like
that,
disrespectful though. It to me is like you said you went to school, you a doctor, you graduate, you got your doctorate. You was in the lab. To
Yeah,
me it
and
was
the
like
dude tried to,
dismissed. To me it was like dismissed, like, okay, Ann, you don't know shit. Ann, what that mean? I mean, that's how I felt like,
a
that's how
nigga
they
tried
meant
to
it.
tell her about some shit that was in the book. Like,
Yeah, and she's saying, I mean, I was in the lab. I did this project and that project. I seen it in the microscope. And motherfuckers still want to talk about what they read in the damn book.
See, you guys
Okay.
gotta understand how this
So
hey,
certain people
works.
don't
leave
when they
them
don't like to be
there.
wrong and shit.
Leave. If you got to read a book, then you ain't there. You ain't there yet. And don't get me wrong, sometimes you read a book and it's the book you're supposed to read at that time to unlock a code. That's not what
Yeah,
I'm saying. But if
yeah,
right.
that's like you're set in stone because you read it, you already done lost. Because a book is still what somebody else wrote, motherfucker.
Exactly.
exactly.
And not even one of us. How
Especially
you read
some,
some
man, especially some
read something from
inorganic
somebody who ain't
beings.
even
You can't
ain't got no connection. Yeah, reading from somebody who ain't even got a connection.
Shit, crazy.
I do the best I can to try to help people. It just, it saddens me, you understand, because like I said, people follow that stuff and you finna follow somebody off a cliff.
Yep.
And just like it's not like when I first got tapped in, it was back in 2000, 2009, and it actually was books that you could get on the shelf. But as we know, you can't find not
None
nail
of
single one of
them.
them books no more.
Nope.
It's old
Them
for that.
shit, them shits is thousands of dollars now.
Yup,
With the real information in it.
yup,
But like I said, I'll go back to it again. You got the book in you, and you are the book.
man.
I
Exactly,
really
just like
mean
she just said. Now I found out in one of the books back then, everything that she just said, it was basically telling me how you can teach your own self a meditation, this, then the other. And what are we talking about now? The same thing. And I learned all that back then, not listening to nobody.
For real.
trying to told you that ain't what you here for. You ain't come here to listen to somebody. You came here to walk your walk and trust thine self
Yes.
because you is a reflection of the all. So how
Yeah,
can you be wrong?
exactly. Fucking exactly.
What you do is you just expand your knowledge, you understand, and that's going to expand your angles and your viewpoints. You understand?
Yup.
It's just like a baby. First, you learning how to roll. You understand? Then you roll a little bit. Then you figure out, hey, I can, crawl. Then you crawl, and then you
Yup.
like, hey, I could stand, and you wobbly on your legs when you
Yup.
stand. And then you like, hey, I could walk, and then you walk, and then eventually, once you walk and you comfortable, then motherfucker, you gonna start running, bitch, and then motherfucker, you gonna
Man.
sprint.
Man.
It's no like people want stuff instantly. That's not what Gnosis is. You
Microwave
gonna
shit.
build on it the rest of your life. This the whole point. I'm not sitting here like no, I don't. I learn something new every day. But you know why that is? Because I allow myself to.
Yup. Yup.
And y'all listen to what she just said now. Had to take a while. They don't just come in like that. Now, like I said, I told you I tapped
Mm-mm.
in way back in 2009, and everybody want to talk about these superpowers, this, that, and the other. I was on that shit back then, and look, it took me a while. Basically, every different thing that I tried to tap in, even as far as meditation, it took me damn near a year to tap into every different thing, but I had that
Yeah.
patience for it, and I tapped in.
Yeah.
Ashe.
Ain't shit no microwave. Can't
It
microwave
ain't
this
no
shit.
instant. It ain't no instant with this. You got to give yourself the time to grow and the time to learn yourself, to learn how to access the different
Yup.
codes and stuff. You understand how to access the different planes of consciousness that's either higher than the 5D. This is what we're talking about. Like, you have to learn thyself, and nobody can teach you that. No
Yup.
book is ever that's ever wrote is gonna teach you gnosis, bruh. And the books that did really talk about gnosis, it ain't on this, or ain't you can't get access those anymore. But even those books weren't designed to really teach you gnosis. It just talks about it. But the
Yeah.
experience of gnosis is different from everybody. So it's kind of like what Empress River was saying, tap your creation. However you create, that's where you gotta tap, because that's when the gnosis really hits you, when you in your meditation mode of creation. And that don't mean sitting down. Like I said, you could be gardening, running, jogging, whatever you do to clear your mind, because that's what's got to be free. And then it's gonna come to you. You gonna be straight, and it's gonna come, like Stedman say, in steps, in increments. But the reason why it's going like that is because you have to train yourself, just like a tool. You
Yup.
understand? Just like anything. You understand? If you learning a new tool or something like that, at first you ain't gonna know how to use that whole tool. You got to use it. You got to put it in your hand. You got to work with it. And then
Man.
eventually you go from a novice to a master. Well, we are trying
Man.
to master ourselves. And you will never know everything, ever. You don't want to, because at the minute you know everything, you no longer a soul.
Yup. No, for real.
So you have to give yourself time to grow and expand. And one thing I could say, because I realized in my life, like, I was always spiritual, you understand, but I feel like in 2019, that's when like it hit me, that I realized, like, hey, I really am something else. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it really started hitting me. But I can even say that from 2019 to 2023, like, my growth has expounded, and it's like my angles and viewpoints have changed as more knowledge has come to me through my gnosis, enter and overstand. And that's how it be. Like, you'll get little things about yourself, but you might not know the answers to why. And it might be 2, 3 years down the road till you figure it out. But
Mm-hmm.
that's the way your path's supposed to go. So let it. But it's
Yep.
not gonna be no, you finna turn into a damn yogi master overnight. Like you wake up one morning like, ooh, hell no. If that's what you think is, you wrong. No. And that's not the way it's supposed to be, because you gotta learn yourself and how to use your gifts and stuff like that. Everybody got different gifts, different stuff, but you can't even figure out what you is if you look into somebody else to try to tell you the
Man.
answer. When I first got into this, I ain't know nothing about telepathy, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and all of that type of shit. I knew some shit, you understand? I knew I could hear shit and all of this type of stuff and start seeing stuff and stuff like that. But shit, I didn't even know what the terms to it was until somebody was like, oh, well, that's clear. That's shit. I wasn't reading nothing. I just knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
This is what I'm trying to tell you. You could be doing shit and you won't even, you might not even know what it is, but if you sit here like, oh, I gotta oh, this is what clairaudience is, this is what clairvoyance is, this is what telepathy is, this is fuck that motherfucker, fuck what that book say. What do you say?
Man.
You ain't out here to be like nobody else. Oh, I want to get to your level. Stay on your level, motherfucker. Your level is perfect. Cause it ain't no levels. That's the whole
Man.
point. It ain't no
Man.
levels. We all the same strength, bruh. It's just I know how to use my tool because I've been working at this shit.
It's just like working out the muscles. You know what I'm saying? You
Yup.
skinny,
Hell
you trying to
yeah.
get big, you got to build it up.
Hell
Yup.
yeah. You don't get no biceps just by letting the bicep lay there. Motherfuckers be in the gym pumping every day. And then
Man.
eventually they motherfucking chisel like hell. That's the same way Gnosis work, bruh. The same exact way. When you first get into it, you're gonna be like a fish out of water, but it's gonna work for you if you let it. If you let it, I promise you, man. I know it to be true. I be somewhere else, y'all. I be tapped somewhere else. And I just be like, when I do my lectures sometimes, y'all, like especially when I go on IG or something.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
sometimes, yo, I just tap into something, yo, and
I see this shit.
yo, it'll hit me. It'll hit me. And sometimes I go back and look at myself and I just be like, damn. Straight gnosis though. Like y'all will see me do it because I'll look up in the air,
Yeah, yup,
something hit
yup.
me.
That's when I knew then. I was like, yeah, yeah.
Straight gnosis. Everybody got that, yo. That's what I'm saying. You just gotta
No,
figure
yeah.
out and then let it flow, bruh. And that's what the throat chakra hit because when you start talking, ain't nothing left but that eye or just that man. Right when you open up that throat chakra and
Mm-hmm.
start speaking your truth, however you do it, whatever you do, or creating your truth. That's when you the architect then, motherfucker. You become the architect of this whole plane. And
Man,
then it's over. You don't won. You don't won after that. You could go mute, you could be quiet as hell and just watch and observe and let the gnosis hit you like the but you got to get there. And you got to know that it was always you, not nobody else. It was
yup.
always motherfucking you. Once you get there and take that self doubt and throw that shit to the left, motherfucker, know that shit, this spell gonna work. Motherfucker, I ain't gotta read no goddamn book because I'm finna put this shit together right here the way I wanna put it together. It did. That shit ain't nothing
Man,
but a tool. It's nothing but a
man.
tool. It's nothing but a tool. I be trying to. It's spell work, voodoo. It's nothing but a tool. All this shit outside of you. The voodoo is in you, motherfucker.
Oh,
Or whatever system you want to tap. You understand? It's all in you. You don't need a deity or nothing. You got all they codes, bro. That's just a tool. Like I got a little Ganesha, you understand? But that's in me. That's just a tool to help me tap into that frequency. Because when I sit there and look at that, I think about that or prosperity or whatever I'm thinking about at that time. You understand? Or oil. You understand what I'm saying? That's a frequency, yo. But she existed, but she exists in us now, bro. Or and then you just tap into the gnosis to a point you could just see them moving. Like you could just see, man, you could just see
yup,
it, bro. And when you get,
yup,
man, it's, man,
yup.
I can't, iterate it enough to people. Like, it's a wonderful experience when you start believing in yourself and take your energy back, bruh. Because then you could see it
For
and
real,
you
for
could
real.
know it and you could know that you got your own angles. You ain't here to be like nobody else. When I started this shit, I was like, yo, I don't know how they gonna take me, but fuck it.
For real, though.
Actually, I ain't want to say shit, y'all. I'm telling you the truth, but it was just on my ass so hard. Like, that's another thing when you get in the gnosis. Like, if it's your job to talk, motherfucker, it's gonna make you.
It's gonna come through. It's gonna come through. No matter how much you fight it, it's gonna come through.
Man, what? Boy, I'm trying to tell you, boy, I remember that raggedy ass June when I had to come on there and start telling people about my visions. And it was like I still had a little bit of fear because I had the memories of like my past lives being martyred at that point. Like that's how long I was able to hold my water till it just got to an overwhelming point where I was just like, you know what, fuck it. This is what I'm here to do. And then
Nah,
I
for
just
real.
stepped into it. And that's what you got to do. You got to step into it. That's all you got to do. Step into it. Release the fear, release the self doubt, release all of that. Because once you start walking in your truth and dealing with your shadows, everything like that, and the self doubt and all of that stuff, you become so powerful that no matter what somebody's saying, you still fine.
Yup,
And that's what
yeah.
happened with Callie. I wasn't even offended by him.
I
You
know you was just
understand?
more hurt because he don't understand.
Because he don't understand. Exactly. He don't understand. And I'm like, he lost and he can't see it. And it hurt me because I'm like, when I first awakened, it was Callie that I was watching about the fucking sun and the fucking Kachina came to see me, yo. Like
Damn.
he was talking about I didn't know nothing about the Hopi prophecies or nothing.
Yeah.
But he was watching the sun, he was doing the little sun weather thing, and he
Yeah.
was like, that's the blue star Kachina. And when he said it was the blue star Kachina, I got a vision.
Damn.
And
Yeah, it
when
was a
I got
code.
the vision, it was so powerful that I had to go to YouTube. Some said go to YouTube and type this in. And when I typed in Blue Star Kachina, the first video that came up was the fucking Hopi
Yup.
prophecy.
Yup.
And
Yup.
I hit that shit, y'all. And then it was talking about the Blue Star Kachina, the Red Star Kachina.
Uh-huh.
Yo, I went to my room. I was burning a candle, and I'll be damned if the Red Kachina. That's why I'm telling you, the Star family ain't no fucking joke. Yo, they came right in my fucking room. And they let me record it, bro. That shit orbed right, man. That shit's still on my page. Yo, that shit orbed right up out the goddamn candle, bro. They was right there. That shit was like shooting like it was like a red, blue, like all the colors of Sirius right there in my fucking room. And that's when I knew I had to come to the people and tell them about the Hopi prophecy and post that video. You understand? But and that's what hurt me about Cali, because I'm like, man, you helped me, you unlock that code, but you not even
Took it.
there. But
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he just
Uh-huh.
kept coming up. Show
Uh-huh.
me where you seen it at. Where did you get that from? Where did you get? And he just kept. I'm like, where
I
you get
was
your shit
just
from?
I was just so sad by that, y'all. It
I know,
really,
yeah.
I was just like, man, this brother ain't where I thought he was at.
Uh-huh.
But I knew
Uh-huh.
ahead of time it was gonna
And
go
that's
like that
what,
because he one of those can't be wrong.
and what was so bad about it, y'all, I done had conversations with him before in private. Like, I done had conversations with him, and he never reacted like that. So, what really, when he did that on a public platform, because I honestly, I don't even know if I would have let him on my live if I would have known he, because I don't want to put that energy in the atmosphere of
Yeah.
a masculine
Mm-hmm.
and a feminine doing like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? We got that too much. So I didn't want to, hit him. So I thought it was going to be a dialogue. But when he came on there, he just came on there for a fucking show for all of them followers. And then I really seen him
Mm-hmm.
for what he really was.
Nigga moving in his
And,
ego.
yup. And then I was like,
Yep.
okay,
Yep.
he not there and he ain't never gonna be there. But I had already seen some other stuff about him too, but that just confirmed everything that I already knew to be true. And that's where I'm trying to get at now. Like, that's what I'm doing now. Is like I'm realizing that what I see about people is what I see. And I might not like what I see, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Even people that I looked up to, you know what I'm saying? Even people in the community, you understand that I thought was I see stuff, you know what I'm saying? And, it just, I'm not a judge. You understand? I'm not the judge and the jury. Everybody's life is everybody's life. So that's what
Yeah.
I say about the gift of sight. Like, you
Yep.
understand? Don't get me wrong. I just don't be honing in on people like I want to, you know what I'm saying? But certain things get my attention, and like when it get my attention, you understand? Then I could see it. You understand?
Yeah.
And so sometimes, yo, if I hone in on somebody though, like people might not even understand, but if they come in my orbit, I could see it. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? And then some people can't see, but I might attack. You understand? But I'm attacking because I'm attacking the entity that I see, what I
Yeah.
see. And that's the eye of discernment. And that's why I be telling people, like, turn that shit on. Turn your eye on. Learn
For
that shit.
real.
Let that shit hit you, because then you can't be so easily fooled. And now
Yep.
my eye of discernment just fucking crazy. I see a psyop rolling before it even rolled, bitch. I'm like, nope,
Man.
nope, nope. But that shit just didn't happen overnight.
For real.
Didn't happen overnight. But now, shit, motherfucker, please. I be just trying to spare people. Like, I don't be wanting to damn air people out. I just be like, I ain't trying to air you out, bruh. Because I know you don't want people to know what I done seen, bitch. So please do yourself a favor and go work on do some shadow.
Man.
And he laughing like he
I
good.
tell people so fast to do shadow work, because a lot of people think that it's hidden, but it's not hidden. If a person, you understand, like, it's not hidden to a spiritual person in our plane that's got an eye of discernment. You can't hide.
For real.
You only hiding from yourself,
Yep.
and you putting up that false facade of ego and everything for everybody to see. But really, that goes back to why, like, back in the day, we talking a long time. I'm gonna stop talking. But back in the day, before you could become a pharaoh, you had to pass the test of the seers. Do you hear me? You had to pass the test of the psychics, and that's where the whole fucking beef came from.
Mm.
What you mean before coming here?
No,
Before
No,
before
we
no,
stepping and put before the Pharaoh, or even
yeah,
before that pre-dynastic, before it was anything as a Pharaoh.
yeah,
In order
Okay,
to
okay.
lead the people, you had to pass the test of the seers.
yeah,
And
Okay,
that's who
I didn't hear
appointed
that part.
you.
Okay.
You understand? Yeah, that's
Okay,
who
yeah.
appointed you to that part. So you really had to be right. You understand what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's where the
yeah.
free Amah came from, because them motherfuckers couldn't pass the test of the seers and enter and overstand. It didn't
Mm-hmm.
matter if you was a son or not. You understand, like a son in the bloodline or whatever. Because a
yeah.
lot of
Right.
the times the bloodline passed through the daughters because of the seed.
See, that's the story of the two brothers. You know, that's in every fucking thing. That's
Mm-hmm.
the same thing that was in Lion King. You see what I'm saying? How Scar wanted to be the king, but he
Mm,
couldn't
you
because his
could.
brother was more pure.
Yeah, yeah, I do remember that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's the
That's
same.
the
That's the
real
same
shit.
story. That's the same story and everything.
That's real. That's what the Freemason came from. They wanted to be free of mom. The shit is realer
And
than
that makes
real.
sense. Yeah. Damn, that makes sense.
Because when the major you got to understand, we could see every fucking thing. So you
Yup,
couldn't put on no fake facade. If you wasn't right, you wasn't getting that title.
yup,
And that was the beef.
yup,
Those was the sons that had the beef because they couldn't
yup,
rule.
yup. It's the same thing. You ever seen Thor and his brother? It's the same shit with that. It's the same shit
That's
in
the
everything.
truth. It's the truth. It's real.
You you
But the
damn right.
only
It's the
difference
truth.
is the only difference is it wasn't just it was the feminine, like it's a long convoluted story, but this was the sisters, bruh.
Oh yeah,
And then
yeah, for sure.
it was a lot going on, but that's what it was, and that's the beef, and that's why getting your eye discernment is powerful, and that's why you see all of those old ancient statues, and then we didn't create those statues for then, we created them for now. But people often get it confused because they'll see Ptah and then they'll see like the female deities around them, and they'll think like, oh, that's his wife, that's his. Listen,
No, no,
no, that's the seers, yo.
yup,
If you had a bunch of seers around you as a masculine, you was divinely protected.
yup,
Couldn't shit get up on you, bruh.
yup.
Couldn't shit get up on you. And a lot of times when they after we fell, the marriage wasn't about the sex because they had kids and stuff by other people. It was
Nah,
to keep the bloodline, to keep not the bloodline, but to keep the throne
yeah,
in a certain, you know what I'm saying, in a certain line. You understand what I'm
yeah.
saying? So that's what that was about. Marriage didn't have shit to do with love, because
Like to keep it 100. I don't know, motherfuckers think God ain't no fucking dude. Like who over the honeybees? Who over the ants? Everything started feminine first.
the
But
feminine aspect. That's why this earth was created on the feminine
exactly.
aspect. But
All I hear
that's
here is
just
father,
common
father.
sense. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
A lot of people still say father, 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 like there is no mother. Like
That's
you just
because
said.
they twisted it all up. But anybody would have to know that the mother had to come first, because the
Man,
son ain't got no womb. So how he
man,
would have got birth?
thank
Exactly.
you.
You
Thank
would
you.
think that's common sense, yep, but it ain't to them.
I
Most
had
women.
I couldn't believe I was arguing with my auntie about this. I'm like, how can you argue with a woman about telling them that a woman was that shit is crazy. That shit real life crazy.
But
It
they
sure is.
realize stuck there. And as long as they stuck there, they ain't never gonna be able to see it.
No,
And then, that even a masculine comes here as a feminine first, and
Exactly. That's
then
the reason we have
mm,
nipples and shit. Like a dick is a like
exactly,
outgrown clitoris. Like, oh,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
exactly. The only difference is that arm, that extra arm chromosome on the X, yo. But everything by design is feminine when
yep,
everybody is a feminine at first.
yep,
And then depending on what codes you get from a masculine, that's what
yep,
changes that. But it's still the same reflection of God. It's still a reflection of the same thing. It's still the key in the lock. It's still the same manifestation, just manifested in a different form. But it
yeah.
all starts from the feminine aspect and the triple X black of a womb.
Man,
Period.
triple black chaos energy.
Facts. Straight carbon. Straight carbon. Pattern come from the dad and the salt come from the mama. She
Man,
giving you the flesh and your dad give you the pattern. The
yep,
pattern of which form of the aspect of the Almighty you finna come here as. A masculine or a feminine, but it's still the same arm of the same thing.
yep,
Everything like a prostate is just a underdeveloped uterus.
yep.
It's all the same. I mean, I done studied it. I done looked at it. I done seen the cadavers. You could, like, if you could look at a cadaver, you could literally see that a phallus is the same as the vaginal tract. It's just pushed
Yeah,
in on a woman. It's on the
yeah.
inside,
On
and
the
on a
inside, yeah.
masculine, it come out.
Outside,
And
The
receiver and
think
same
giver,
about it.
fucking
Yeah.
thing, bruh.
receiver and
And then
giver.
Yeah.
a prostate even contract at a when you have a orgasm, just like a fucking uterus. It's the same. One day, y'all. One day, people will get there. You understand? But until they do, they just
Shit,
gonna
it's
be
over with.
stuck on
It's over with
stupid.
for
They
their ass.
gonna leave
It's,
them there.
we at end game.
Yeah,
We
they
at end
can't see
game
it.
now.
Yeah, it's over now. Shit done.